Good morning, family, friends, neighbors. This is White Raptor News Ministries. All praise and glory to the Supreme Spirit of Truth, the living one, the author of life, the all of the Almighty, the all you can see and all you cannot see, the visible and the invisible, the Supreme, Most High, the authority that moves all things in place. There is none like the point of singularity. The point of singularity is a vortex that created both good and evil. The Spirit cannot be seen, not on this plane of existence, on the physical realm. They're looking for the God particle in openings of CERN and portals, and they've been doing it now for some time. And I've been teaching you for some time now that we live in a simulation. I'll be going over a video about that as well and talking a little bit and showing you some pictures. First, we're going to read 2 Samuel chapter 17. Ahithophel said to Absalom, I would choose 12,000 men and set out tonight in pursuit of David. I would attack him while he is weary and weak. I would strike him with terror, and then all the people with him will flee. I would strike down only the king and bring all the people back to you. The death of the man you seek will mean the return of all. All the people will be unharmed. This plan seemed good to Absalom and to all the elders of Israel. Really? You see how fickle Israel people are? They can change on a dime. The Bible plainly says that 2/3 of God's chosen children will die due from lack of knowledge. So if you have Israel setting out to kill Israel, then you, Israel, are at war with one another. You have been in a perpetual war against one another in your tribes since the beginning. I don't understand how come you can't see that. But Absalom said, summon all Hushais and the Archites, so we can hear what he has to say as well. When Hushai came to him, Absalom said, Ahithophel has given this advice. Should we do what he says? If not, give us your opinion. And you know what opinions are like, right? They're like assholes. Everybody's got one and they all stink. Hushai replied to Absalom, the advice Ahithophel has given is not good this time. You know your father and his men, they are fighters, and as fierce as a wild bear robbed of her cubs. Besides, your father is an experienced fighter. He will not spend the night with the troops. Even now he is hidden in the caves or some other place. If he should attack your troops first, whoever hears about it will say, there has been a slaughter among the troops who followed Absalom. Then even the bravest soldiers, whose heart is like the heart of a lion, will melt with fear, for all Israel knows that your father is a fighter and that those with him are brave. So I advise you, let all Israel, from Dan to Beersheba, as numerous as the sands on the seashore, be gathered to you, with you yourself leading them into battle. Then we will attack him wherever he may be found, and we will fall on him as dew settles on the ground. Neither he nor any of his men will be left alive. If he withdraws into a city, then all Israel will bring ropes to that city, and we will drag it down to the valley until not so much as a pebble is left. So there's been a few parts in this Bible as I've been going along and reading it that shows that there's things in this Bible that are proving that a lot of this has already happened. A lot of these prophecies and stuff that are taking place have already happened. So I don't know, is it possible that this plane of existence is those that have been left eternal death? What is eternal death? Eternal death is to be born into this plane of existence and then die again. And then to be born into another avatar, into another flesh suit and die again. But what if it was as easy as proclaiming that you didn't want to be here anymore? Your spirit wants to return home to the creator, the spiritual creator, the point of singularity. There's two races, folks. This isn't a race war between black and white. That's what this world wants you to make it. The race war is between good and evil. Color doesn't exist. We are spiritual beings. Okay? So, Absalom and all his men of Israel said, the advice of Hushai the Archite is better than that of Ahithophel. For the Lord had determined to frustrate the good advice of Ahithophel in order to bring disaster on Absalom. Hushai told Zadok and Abiathar the priest, Ahithophel has advised Absalom and the elders of Israel to do such and such, but I have advised them to do so and so. Now send a message at once and tell David, do not spend the night at the fords in the wilderness. Cross over without fail, or the king and all the people with him will be swallowed up. Jonathan and Ahimaaz were staying at En Rogel. A female servant was to go and inform them, and they were to go and tell King David, for they could not risk being seen entering the city. But a young man saw them and told Absalom. So the two of them left at once and went to the house of a man in Bahurim. He had a well in his courtyard, and they climbed down into it. His wife took a covering and spread it over the opening of the well and scattered grain over it. No one knew anything about it. When Absalom's men came to the woman at the house, they asked, where are Ahimaaz and Jonathan? The woman answered them, they crossed over the brook. The men searched but found no one, so they returned to Jerusalem. After they had gone, the two climbed out of the well and went to inform King David. They said to him, set out and cross the river at once. Ahithophel has advised such and such against you. So David and all the people with him set out and crossed the Jordan. By daybreak, no one was left who had not crossed the Jordan. When Ahithophel saw that his advice had not been followed, he saddled his donkeys and set out for his house in his hometown. He put his house in order and then hanged himself. So he died and was buried in his father's tomb. Absalom's death. David went to Mahanaim, and Absalom crossed the Jordan with all the men of Israel. Absalom had appointed Amasa over the army in place of Joab. Amasa was the son of Jether, an Ishmaelite, who had married Abigail, the daughter of Nahash and sister of Zeruiah, the mother of Joab, the Israelite, and Absalom camped in the land of Gilead. When David came to Mahanaim, Shobai, son of Nahash, from Robah of the Ammonites, and Machir, son of Amiel, from Lo Debar, and Barzillai, the Gileadites from Rogelim, brought bedding and bowls and articles of pottery. They also brought wheat and barley, flour and roasted grain, beans and lentils, honey and curds, sheep and cheese, from cows' milk for David and his people to eat. For they said, the people have become exhausted and hungry and thirsty in the wilderness. All right, folks, I'm just going to leave this as a reading because I got to get out and do a little bit of work this morning. All praise and glory to the Supreme Spirit. I just want to let you all know that I love you. And this is a difficult walk to be in the flesh suit, covered by a shadowing shroud of Satan. Okay, it's difficult. And that voice in your head, it makes you want to drink, makes you want to party, makes you want to fornicate and hang out at the bars, it makes you want to lie and cheat and cover other people's husbands and wives and commit adultery. It makes you want to worship other gods and do pagan worship and worship the idols and things like that. We are in hell, folks, all right? You must understand that. All praise and glory to the Supreme Spirit of Truth. I hope that He may touch you and put His Spirit upon you. This is White Raptor News Ministries.